We're going to take a look at some clips of H off or Y off formations against the odd front. These are submitted by Coach Brandon Staley, the defensive coordinator, John Carroll College in Ohio, very successful Division III program. One of the things that Coach Staley talks about in defending the Y off alignment, or the sniffer as some spread coaches call it, is setting the three technique away from the sniffer in the reduction front. What that does is that allows for a definite double team or zone combination block by that guard and that tackle. So that three technique is allowed to eat up that B gap so two players or one player cannot work up to linebacker level. This outside linebacker knows away from the sniffer he's going to be a 5 technique in this situation because the reduction is going away from the sniffer. And mainly Coach Staley does this because of the cut zone play where you're getting, or split zone, split belly, whatever you want to call it. You're getting zone action, okay, one side, then you have that H or Y off coming across the formation to trap or cut off block, whatever you want to use the verbiage on the 5 technique. Now, the important coaching point that Coach Staley talks about is hard jointing that 5 technique. Yes, he wants to end up to the outside of him, but he wants to hit that block thick. He doesn't want to necessarily spill it. Because when you spill it, as Coach Staley talks to us about, now you have a problem with overhang defenders when the quarterback decides to keep the ball, when teams run that zone bluff that Nevada became famous under Chris Hall and a lot of spread teams are doing now, because now you've lost that player in those zone bluff schemes. So we're going to take a look at some of these. Unfortunately, this clip here has some audio, so I'm going to have to talk over it. Now, once this back shifts, okay, Coach Staley also talks about what that 3 technique is taught to do where that back shifts. If that back is set away from him, he is going to be a lot heavier on the 3 technique to force that double team, because most likely you're going to get that zone action, which you're going to get here away from. So he wants to be heavy on that 3 technique to force that double team by that tackle. Okay, so now what happens here, this player is not heavy enough, okay, where that tackle is able to draw him. But the coaching point here is watching this defensive end of this 5 technique. Here comes the Y. The Y misses him. See, this is what Coach does not want, okay, because now the Y misses him. Now he's able to get on a forced defender. So if this is any type of read scheme right now, that quarterback is able to take it up through here, and then there's a problem defensively. So this player wants to hit it thick, okay, and play off inside once the decision has been made. But here you see there's not a read element, and John Carroll gets a little lucky there. Same thing here. Here's a 3 technique. Okay, he's reduced away from the Y off. Okay, pretty good job. This is the same concept here. Okay, same situation here where now he sees it. He's able to work downhill. We'll show you a different clip here in a second. Okay, there's the Y off. The reduction should be coming away from that Y off. This is going to be almost like a trap or wham situation. So now what they're doing is whamming that 3 technique. It's the same concept. He should be hitting it thick. This offensive player, for whatever reason, decides not to block that 3 tech, so he's able to fold inside and get a piece of the play. But in terms of run fits, and we diagram this up on a special report, what happens here, the jack or the boundary outside linebacker, he is essentially the C-gap player. Or, you know, you're going to have 2 C-gap players for wind back. What we mean by that is when you get the zone action this way, when this back comes downhill, there's always an opportunity for the back to wind back, especially in zone read teams. So what Coach Staley talks about is that Mike overlapping into the C-gap, that Sam overlapping, playing off the nose into the A-gap. Okay, and it's all based on the action of the Y off or sniffer. One thing he does talk about is having those linebackers heels at 4 yards, what they're doing now, so they can see that and get downhill on Y off formations. So actually, pretty good job. You watch this Sam here. Pretty good job by that Sam stacking the nose on the fit. Now what that does is, as you're fitting this thing up, this backside safety or the field side safety, you know, he's coming from a long way here. I don't know if I think he's apex a little too wide. I don't know the down and distance here, but essentially he could fold in, okay, and replace that Sam who is stacking off the nose, which he does here. I mean, this kid's really hustling here. He's going to fold back inside. You know, it's hard to do it from that kind of depth, but he is effective. And it's all based on player ability alignments, as we all know. Okay. Not much of a reduction here. Is playing a 4-eye technique. Zone read. Quarterback's reading the perimeter player out here, the apex linebacker. Again, but the whole coaching point is where the fits are going to take place in the Y-off. Okay, so again, you have a B-gap player here by the 4-eye technique. The Mike should be overlapping into the C-gap. The Sam should be stacking the nose. Then you have the outside linebacker should be able to fall back inside. Now he gets cut a little bit here. Okay, so now you have a tight end wing surface. It's still an H off the ball. Zone action. Okay, the zone's coming too. This is just, you know, there's no slice in this situation. The H has not come back, so they're just playing the gaps in front of them. Okay, so this linebacker should be an A-gap player. The 4-eye should be a B-gap player. Nose is an A-gap player. The Mike's a B-gap player. Okay, so on and so forth. A-gap player, I'm sorry. Okay, this 4-eye is a B-gap player, so on and so forth. Okay, Y off over here. This is a single pull concept, but the situation is the same. Again, and why we're showing you this because Staley talks about this player being able to hit that thing thick and box it. So now take a look at how this thing develops. You can have the H coming across the formation. This is just a counter concept. The 4-eye is going to draw the double team. All right, so now what's going to happen here is since that H off is coming, okay, to the linebacker side, he is going to be a C-gap player. That's the Mike. He's going to overlap. This Sam is going to stack the nose or this inside backer away from the play concept. Okay, and he's going to be able to fill in here. But here's the coaching point. That's a great job of hitting it thick. That's what we want to show you. That's a great clip of him doing that. Okay, you see his position, near shoulder, near foot. He hits it thick. Yes, he maintains outside leverage. Okay, but he constricts the run lane here and bunches everything up inside. And he's actually able to make the play too. I mean, it's a tremendous job by that player, but that's kind of what you want. Talking about that H or Y off and be able to hit that player thick. Okay, not let him get, you know, to the second level. This is cut zone. Now, obviously, we have a missed tackle here. The quarterback's going to decide to read this thing. Okay, H is coming back. So here's the reduction. You get a good idea of the reduction here. There's a 3 technique. They're reducing away from that H or Y off. Okay, they look like they're going to be reading him or whamming him. So he's here. Okay, he's a C-gap player. That reduction outside linebacker. Okay, he just needs to be here to make the play. He's one-on-one, the quarterback. All the other gaps are accounted for. He just has to make the tackle here. And as you see, as we watch this here, these linebackers are over the top. He's able to be a C-gap player. As the Mike, he should be over the top, and that Sam is able to stack the nose. At least that's how it should look. I think the Mike gets caught up a little bit in here. He should be over the top as well to help on the quarterback. And, you know, it doesn't help. He gets held a little bit there, but he's out of position slightly. Just to give you a good idea of how to defend those H or Y off formations.